Yumenglong's hairstylist revealed Duchong's plan before he passed away. The wind howled through Beijing that night, the same kind of cold, restless wind that seems to whisper secrets through the narrow alleys. It was the night everything began to unravel. Yumenglong's fans had barely recovered from the shocking EVP recordings, where his faint voice pleaded for justice from beyond, when another twist shattered the already fragile calm. A man named Chen Lu, Yumenglong's longtime hairstylist, and one of the few people he called brother, reached out to an underground journalist with a trembling voice message. His words were broken, heavy with fear. "I can't stay quiet anymore," he said. "Duchong planned it, and they think no one knows. But he told me everything before he died." The journalist never got another call. Chen Lu had been with yumenglong since his first music video days, back when fame was just a dream and not a curse. He had seen the actor's rise, his exhaustion, and those late-night breakdowns behind the dressing room mirror. Chen was the only one who dared to ask the question others avoided. "Who are you afraid of?" Yumenglong would always smile softly and say, "Don't worry, Brother Lu. Once this movie is over, I'll finally rest." That sentence now feels like a prophecy. After his death, Chen Lu vanished from every contact list, his salon shuttered overnight. But before he disappeared, he sent out one final encrypted file. Inside it was a voice note, one that carried the same eerie static as the EVP recording. Only this time, it wasn't the voice of a spirit. It was the sound of a terrified man revealing the truth. He whispered that Duchong, a powerful executive linked to Tianyu Media, had approached Menglong weeks before the tragedy. They wanted Menglong to front a global campaign, one meant to wash dirty money under the veil of celebrity endorsements. When he refused, threats began to creep in. Fake contracts, mysterious vehicles tailing his car, and silent calls at midnight. Chen Lu said he was there the night Menglong received the last call. He described how Menglong's hand shook so violently that the phone slipped from his grip and crashed to the floor. He remembered the last thing Menglong said before turning pale. "They told me if I speak, they'll hurt my family." Weeks later, Chen Lu's phone pinged one last location before it went dark, a desolate stretch near Yunqi Bridge, not far from where Menglong's car was first found. Locals said they saw a man being dragged into a black van. No one ever filed a report. That night, online forums lit up. Fans began connecting the dots. Could it be that Chen Lu was silenced for knowing too much? Could the EVP that mentioned the one who holds the comb actually have been referring to him? The phrase became viral overnight. "The comb knows everything." At dawn, police quietly retrieved Chen Lu's abandoned car. Inside, under the passenger seat, was a flash drive wrapped in a towel. It contained photos of Yumenglong during his final styling session, eyes distant, smile forced, hands trembling. But there was more. In one of the pictures, blurred in the background, stood a tall man in a gray suit with a Duchong Group security badge. The timestamp was just 4 hours before Yumenglong's death. Investigators tried to bury it, labeling it fan-edited, but forensic analysis proved the photo was genuine. The gray-suited figure had indeed been at the scene, a fact that Duchong himself denied during his brief, heavily staged public appearance. "He was my friend," Duchong told reporters, his tone unnervingly calm. "I had nothing to do with his choices." But the smirk at the corner of his lips told another story. Meanwhile, the entertainment world spiraled into chaos. Every artist who once worked under Tianyu Media was summoned for questioning, and the walls began to close in. Whispers spread that Menglong had left behind a hidden file, a backup of recordings he made in secret meetings, the same files he had confided about to Chen Lu. A production assistant claimed that Chen Lu was searching for those files before he disappeared. He had told her, "If I find it, the world will finally know who killed him." And then silence. A month later, a homeless man near the East 3rd Ring Road claimed to have found a phone lodged between bricks in an alleyway. Authorities brushed him off until he played an audio clip that froze the room. It was Chen Lu's voice, hoarse, shaking, and echoing in what sounded like a basement. "They're watching me," he whispered. "I saw Duchong that night. He wasn't alone. The manager was there too. If they find me, Tell the fans the truth is inside the mirror. The clip ended abruptly with a loud thud. Within minutes of its upload, the video was taken down, and the homeless man vanished the next day. Social media exploded. Hashtags like #JusticeForMenglong and #FindChenLu dominated every platform. Fans across Asia began decoding the mirror clue, suspecting it pointed to Menglong's dressing room mirror at the old studio. When investigators finally examined the cracked mirror still sitting there, they made a bone-chilling discovery: a small chip taped behind the frame, containing encrypted video data. Though heavily corrupted, fragments were viewable. The footage showed Yumenglong arguing with a man off camera, his tone breaking into desperation. "I told you I won't sign anything illegal. You can't keep using my name." Then a hand, unmistakably belonging to Duchong's manager, reached out and slammed the camera down. That was the last clear image of Yumenglong alive. Forensic specialists later confirmed that both the audio from Chenlu's phone and the video chip originated from the same environment, the same building where Menglong's final styling session took place. The revelation shattered whatever remained of Tianyu Media's carefully constructed facade. But the most chilling part came weeks later, during a televised debate. A legal analyst revealed that Chenlu's disappearance matched a pattern of missing insiders linked to other entertainment industry accidents. It wasn't just Menglong. There were others. Chenlu had unknowingly joined a list of people who tried to speak out and paid the ultimate price. At Menglong's memorial garden, fans still leave pairs of scissors and combs wrapped in white ribbons. They call it this silent tribute. Every year, more appear. Some swear that when the wind brushes through the flowers, they can hear faint whispers, two voices, soft but distinct. "Thank you for not forgetting us." Experts call it imagination. But to his fans, it's proof that both Menglong and Chenlu are still reaching out, fighting to make sure their truth isn't erased. New documents leaked to the press suggest that Tianyu Media's board has been quietly dissolved and Duchong has left China under medical reasons. But insiders claim he's living luxuriously abroad under a false identity. Attempts to extradite him have failed. Still, something strange happened last month. A new anonymous file was posted online, containing unseen photos of Chenlu smiling beside Menglong in what looks like a dressing room. In the background, written faintly on the mirror in lipstick, were the words, "The truth never dies." Digital experts verified the authenticity of the photo. No edits. No tricks. It was real. And just like that, the whispers began again. Maybe Chenlu isn't gone. Maybe he's hiding, waiting for the right moment to release everything. Tonight, the entertainment world trembles once more. Fans light candles in front of Tianyu Media's old headquarters. They chant the same line over and over. "Justice for Yumenglong. Justice for Chenlu." Somewhere in the distance, thunder rumbles, and those who were part of the conspiracy feel the ground shifting beneath them. Because they know one truth they cannot escape. Every secret eventually finds its way to the light. And the ghost of Yumenglong isn't done speaking yet. The air outside the salon was heavy that night, not with rain, but with fear. After the EVP revelation that sent the entertainment world into chaos, Duchong's name began to spread like wildfire. Yumenglong's hairstylist, Lin Hao, hadn't spoken to the media since the tragedy. But when he finally did, it wasn't an interview. It was a confession, one that changed everything. According to Lin Hao, the last week before Yumenglong's death was filled with strange instructions, secret phone calls, and silent panic behind Menglong's calm smile. Lin Hao said that every time you came in for styling, there was always a man waiting outside the salon, tall, dressed in black, sunglasses even at night. You never introduced him. He just whispered, "Don't ask questions, Hao. It's safer that way." But what Lin Hao revealed next shattered every sense of calm. He said 3 days before Yu's death, Duchong himself called the salon. His voice, Lin recalled, was cold, almost rehearsed. Du told him to prepare Menglong for a special shoot, and that the client must look perfect, like he's saying goodbye. Lin thought it was just another poetic instruction typical of celebrity managers. He had no idea those words would become prophetic. That evening, as Yumenglong sat in the chair, the mirror reflected something more than a beautiful face. It reflected dread. Lin remembered that Yumenglong's hands trembled while holding his phone. He had just received a message. He looked up at me, Lin said, and whispered, "If anything happens to me, they already know who to blame." The message on the screen, according to Lin, was a photo of Yu's younger brother, with a red circle drawn around his face. Underneath it was a single phrase, "Stay quiet." After hearing the EVP audio days later, fans connected the dots. The distorted voice whispering Duchong's name now felt eerily linked to this final encounter. Lin Hao's statement confirmed that Yu was aware of danger. But the most chilling part came when Lin described what happened the night before Yu's death. He claimed Duchong personally came to the salon around midnight. No cameras, no assistants. Just Du, pale, nervous, and holding a sealed envelope. He placed it on the counter and told Lin, "When the news breaks, deliver this to the family." Lin, frightened and confused, never opened it. But days later, when the news did break, Yu's tragic fall, Du had already vanished. The envelope was gone. Police sources later confirmed there were no official records of Duchong's location that night. Lin Hao said that when he later returned to the salon, the security footage from that evening had been completely erased. Only one frame remained, a blurry image of Yumenglong smiling faintly, his reflection ghost-like in the mirror. And then came the part no one expected. Lin admitted he had been followed since the funeral. Anonymous cars parked near his apartment. Unmarked envelopes slid under his door. He even received a message with a single phrase, "Forget the mirror." The salon later burned down in what was officially called an electrical accident. But locals claim they saw men taking hard drives and documents hours before the fire started. Fans online began to speculate that Lin Hao was the missing link between Yu's EVP message and the secret network Duchong was allegedly tied to, a network connected to Tianyu media, money laundering, and cover-ups. Lin himself believed it. "They used him," he said tearfully. Yu wasn't just silenced, he was sacrificed. But perhaps the most emotional part of Lin's revelation was his memory of Yu's final words during that last styling session. He looked at his reflection, Lin said softly, and smiled, but not at himself. It was like he saw someone else in the mirror. He whispered, "Tell them, I didn't give up." Then he left. When reporters asked Lin why he waited so long to speak, his voice cracked. "Because they warned me, and because for a while I thought maybe it was all in my head. But after that EVP tape, after hearing his voice calling for help, I couldn't stay silent anymore." That one confession sent shockwaves through China's entertainment scene. Online, #JusticeForMenglong began trending again, with millions of fans demanding a full reopening of the case. Others noticed something even more bizarre. On the night Lin's interview aired, the social media pages of Duchong's former agency mysteriously went offline. Every photo of Yu and Du together was deleted within minutes. Later that week, police reportedly discovered Duchong's abandoned car near an old warehouse in Suzhou, the same location where Yu filmed his last drama. Inside the vehicle were two things: a burnt phone and a strand of hair that forensic experts claimed matched Yumenglong's DNA. What was Du doing with it? No one knew. But Lin Hao believed it was part of something much darker, a ritual or a symbolic offering, meant to erase Yu's trace completely. They thought by burning his hair and silencing his story, they'd bury his truth, Lin said. But he's still speaking. We can all feel it. After Lin's revelation, his own whereabouts became uncertain. His social media accounts went silent. Some say he went into hiding after receiving threats. Others believe he disappeared the same way many of Yu's allies did, erased, both online and in real life. The entire nation was left shaken. Every new layer of this case, from the EVP whisper to the salon confession, painted a chilling portrait of how deep the conspiracy ran. And through it all, one thing became painfully clear: Yumenglong knew too much. As the world continues to uncover the hidden truth piece by piece, one haunting question lingers. If Lin Hao hadn't spoken, would the world ever have known the warning that was left behind in that mirror? Because sometimes ghosts don't just haunt the places they died. They haunt the people who stayed silent. And now, silence is no longer an option.